Roller, edit with me, take one. Not take one, I'm not doing this twice. Okay. So, first things first, we're going to crop this to 4x5 as usual. Now, I messed up on this. There was a lot going on. We were on a tight, twisty road. I was hanging out the trunk of the car, and I wasn't thinking, and I just cranked my ISO. And you can see here my ISO was 12,800, which I did not mean to do. I don't usually like shooting even over 1,000 ISO, but we did, and now we got to deal with it. So you'll see, look how ridiculously hazy this is, or grainy. Like, that's crazy. So even on a Sony, 12,000 ISO is pretty high. You don't really notice it here, but I'm super picky and I don't like that one bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to adjust the colors first, then we're going to fix that graininess, okay? So first things first, I'm going to bring up the white balance because it was a nice sunny evening. We don't want it to look too blue. We're going to turn the exposure up. We're also going to bring the highlights down because this is a little too bright for me. Now we're going to turn the contrast up a little bit. This is a really tricky color to work with, by the way. I've shot this and his 720 GTR, which were the same color. I think this is a wrap, so the color's not as frustrating to work with, but because the other one was paint, there was a lot more depth in it, and it just was kind of a pain in the ass to work with. So this one's a little easier. It'll go from like red to orange to pink depending on the light, and it's a lot of fun. It's very challenging, but it is what it is. So gonna bring the shadows out just a bit, even though we're already at 12,800 ISO. It'll be a little more grainy, but whatever. We're gonna bring actually the shadows up more because we're gonna get rid of all the grain anyway, so it don't matter. Okay, now black's down. Add a little bit more contrast and pop there. Then we're gonna bring the texture down slightly and the dehaze up slightly. Now the reason I do that, texture down, is because it should alleviate a little bit of the grain, just slightly, and then the dehaze kind of brings the sharpness back without introducing more haze or more grain. I keep saying haze, more grain into the photo. So we're gonna get rid of all of it, but that's just something that'll help a little bit down the line. So I'm gonna bring the vibrance down and the saturation up roughly 20-25%. And boom, there we go. Get that nice pop. But you see, even doing that, like, made this go from orange to more pink. It's always interesting. So right here, the greens are a little bright for my liking. So we're gonna come down to luminance and bring that down just a bit, and maybe even a bit on the yellows as well. Yeah, and then we're gonna bring the saturation of the greens and yellows down a bit, and then also change the hue of the green a little bit bluer. So you'll see it just, like we were talking about complementary colors, red, purplish, you know, those types of colors against greens and yellows work really well. They pop really nice. So there's that. Now, so it just allows the car to pop a little bit more against the background. One thing I do notice, there's a lot of blue in the road, so I'm going to bring the blues all the way down, but you'll see obviously it's going to disappear from the sky, and we don't want that. So I'm going to do a subject mask on the sky. Sorry, we're going to do a mask selection on the sky. Hopefully it'll pick up all of the sky. Yep, and then we're just going to crank the saturation on that and bring the blues back without introducing any of the blues back into the road or the car. Look at that. Works pretty good, right? Now I'm going to bring the exposure up slightly. Yeah. And then I'm going to come down here and we're going to add a little bit of blue to the shadows. And I know I said I took the blues out of the road, but introducing blues into the shadows in the overall image with this you can be a little bit more selective, and it looks a little bit better, in my opinion, than if you were to just leave the blues on the road, because you wouldn't get the blues in any of the other shadows, if that makes sense. Brain's kind of fried. Been doing this for a couple hours now. But I hope that comes through, and I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So if you don't, just comment below and I'll explain it to you guys. So my goal here is to get all of this done, all of my coloring done before I get rid of dehaze, because when I use the AI denoise tool, it creates a second photo without all of these adjustments in it. And then if I want to go back and edit it, it's a huge pain. So just keep that in mind. You want to get your colors straight, finish the photo first before you use the AI denoise tool. Now we're going to come into the mask selection. We're going to select the subject. Okay. And we're going to add some texture and some sharpness to the subject. Also, we're going to bring the shadows up slightly, the exposure up slightly, and then the blacks down slightly. So it's going to bring the shadows and the exposure up, but then the blacks are going to balance out the lighting, but you're still going to get the details showing more because we've brought the shadows and the exposure up. Do you know what I mean? God, that grain is disgusting. Ugh. Ugh. Fucking that, brother. What's that? Ugh. That's how I feel. My God, what happened there? That will never happen again. I can't believe I did that. Learn from me. Okay. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Okay, we're going to bring the black down just a bit on the overall image again. Hopefully that'll alleviate some of it from the car. And then we're going to do the mask. We're going to add a linear gradient from the ground up. We don't have to do too much because as you can see on the ground, there's already a little bit of darkness there. But this will just kind of make it a little bit more uniform and straight across as opposed to like the curved gradient that was there before. I don't even like that, if I'm being honest. It's too dark. Yeah, I might just get rid of that. No, that's a little better. Computer's just slow. Okay. I'm going to turn the white balance up on the image and see how we're looking. This is a very saturated image. I might bring the saturation down a little bit. It's a little too saturated for my liking. We're going to bring this down to just like 18, 19. All right, I'm happy with those colors. Now, we're going to do it before and after. Look at that disgusting grain. That is horrible. Ugh. So, fuck, that's pretty bad. We're going to see if this actually works. So we're going to bring the manual noise reduction up 20%. You don't want to overdo this either because it'll soften the image a lot. Whereas AI, when you hit this AI noise reduction, it doesn't soften it. It literally just like creates another image and it goes in and it actually like does a lot of work to make sure the sharpness is preserved. Okay, so that did a little bit, right? Without softening the photo too much. I'm just going to add a little bit of sharpness just because. And then we're going to hit denoise. I have it preset to 69 and we're going to hit enhance. And I can already hear my computer heating up and the fan spinning. For sure going to get a rainbow wheel out of this. And we'll see if it does its job. I just got a notice on my door that they're going to come into my suite tomorrow to do a balcony safety check. I need to make more money so I can buy a house. That's what I need to do. Dude, enough of this baloney right now. You know, you see why I don't do this all the time, because it takes forever. It just all happens at the same time. Like my computer stops working, he gets annoying, comes and fucks with all my shit. He steps on this keyboard once, this recording stops. I don't know why. For some reason, he always steps on the right button. That stops the recording. And it fucks up all of this video stuff. That's what it is, man. I get really hot when I start recording because I'm just talking nonstop. Can't turn the AC on. Now stop complaining. Shut the fuck up, man. Get home in the middle of the day. editing photos of McLaren Senna. What am I complaining about? I need to put this into perspective. Sorry. I'm just tired, you know? I work a lot. I work hard. Passionate. I want this to work out, and it will, but it's a lot. All right. Now, it looks like it's done. See, it turns it into a DNG file, and it creates it creates a second layer, a second image here, but man, huge difference. Look how sharp that is now. There's like barely any grain. And then I could come in here and I could probably even just manually noise reduce that even more. We'll sharpen it up a bit. That is what the fuck is up. And there you have it. Crazy, eh? So that is how I took this image from being a grainy, dirty, little underexposed, cold looking image. Why is there grain back? Why did that happen? To that, which is a sharp, good looking photo of this Senna rolling down the road. There you have it. So this for sure was probably one of the more taxing videos, one of the more complicated ones that'll happen. Just use as low as ISO as you can. And if you like grain, then that's fine. You don't have to worry about any of this stuff. There is a style where people use grain in their photos. Some people add grain to their photos, and those people are crazy. But it's a style, right? It's a style choice. That's what you do. It is what it is. That's not what I like. I like sharp, crisp, clean images. So that's what I'm going to teach you how to do. Anyway, if you like these style, I shot 3 or 4 of these today. I shot 3.5. That one didn't record, so that was unfortunate. But if you guys like this style, let me know and I'll do more of them. If you want these added, obviously I'm talking to the guys in the course. If you guys enjoy these, it's more like taking all of the skills that I've taught you in the program and applying them so you can see how they actually work in conjunction with one another, right? So yeah, let me know what you think of these. I'm going to try and get these up right away here as soon as I'm done. I'm going to eat an edible. I'm going to start editing them, get them in the group for you. So yeah, let me know what you think. And when I stop recording this, I just really hope that it recorded the whole thing. So see you in the next one.